Hi folks, and welcome back to another Miss of Pandaria beta video. Today we'll be continuing along with my Guardian Tanky Druid. Wanted to highlight a few things before we start looking at a dungeon, which hopefully is going to be Gate of the Setting Sun. I had one attempt in there. It worked out pretty good, but the footage ran a little long. The next group that went in there, we died because I crashed at the event where you set the flare and you go through a cutscene, and I came back and we all died. So a couple things I wanted to go over. Something really handy that I noticed here in enchanting. If I take it off skill up, you have the ability to toggle your enchanting items back and forth. If you look, the mysterious essence over here can be enchanted from 5 spirit dust. Spirit dust will break down into 3 from a mysterious essence. So it's kind of like the shatter, but it kind of goes both ways. And an ethereal shard is made from mysterious essences. So no longer are you going to be sitting there with high level enchanting items and be unable to do some older stuff because you simply are not doing places to get those kind of materials. Like right now with Cataclysm, I'm getting tons of maelstroms, but the fact that I'm not running dungeons anymore, I'm rarely coming across the dust or the essences, and whenever I do enchants for somebody or myself, I'm spending justice points to get older items. So at least here with Miss of Pandaria, they're making the ability to transfer back and forth. It's not perfect. If you notice, 1 mysterious essence comes from 5, but 3 spirit dust comes from 1, so it's a little bit of a drop. It's not 1-to-1, but it's still, at least it gives you something. So it looks like I've got a little bit of a ways to go for the next batch of enchanting. My tailoring is now 600. So I'm going to run over to the tailor real quick and see if he has anything handy. Looks like here's your typical PvP gear. Here's a purple. And some more purples. So it looks like it's got some epic items in the game already. I'll show you guys some of the mounts that we're dealing with here. Here is my yak that I bought. Blonde riding yak. Standard. They're giving you the Crimson Pandarian Phoenix mount. You've seen this in one of my earlier videos where it was non-animated properly. Now it is. This is the challenge mode Phoenix over here. They're also giving you depleted rocket. And they're giving you this geosynchronous rocket. So now I'm going to go ahead and queue up specifically for... Aw, it's got me locked. That sucks. The last group that I was in there, we wound up having to do the final boss before the next to the last boss because we wiped, and when we came back in, the door was shut. So it looks like we won't be dealing with Gate of the Setting Sun today, unfortunately. There's a few others that I haven't recorded yet. Siege. And I did one of the Scarlets. I think I did Monastery, but not Halls or Skolo. So, there you go. I'll show you guys a little bit of what's going on with my pets. I've got these spiders from Desolus near Mardon. Baby Blizzard Bear is basically like a tanking druid. I do like him. The Brown Prairie Dogs is a starter pet. There's a chicken from out by Westfall. There's a Corehound pup. Pretty solid little fighter. He's an elemental. Creepy Crawly, this guy's got one of the best abilities in the game over here. It's called Apocalypse. I've got another one that's got this. Calls down a meteor which will fall 15 rounds from now, instantly killing all pets. Cockroaches survive. So I'd like to see a battle go off where Apocalypse manages to get cast and actually does what it's supposed to. It's an I win button, provided you have a cockroach. We'll be hitting on that in a few moments. Darkshore Cub is a really good bear due to hibernate. Restores a lot of health off of that. Bash, which is over on the Baby Blizzard Bear, occurs later for him. Desert Spider's pretty solid due to leech life. Here is the Enchanted Broom, one of my few magic pets. Don't have a lot for magic. Father Winter's Helper is not a combat pet, neither is Argent Gruntling, excuse me. Agent 007 Gruntling. This Forest Moth for mine is pretty solid because of mothballs, which can do a good amount of damage. Cocoon Strike, which blocks the next attack. Oh, Frigid Frostling has some abilities now. It used to be he only had a level 1 ability, and he didn't have this one. He didn't have the Nova, and he didn't have the Ice Barrier, so they've added that. Gazelle Fawn, one of my favorite starter pets you see here. It's in the number 1 slot for my main trio. Basically, he starts off, he gets the Tranquility rolling, and he'll do a little bit of damage with the hoof, and he'll do a bleat if he needs a big heal. Gilpage doesn't fight. Horde Balloon, sadly, does not fight. I was really hoping the Horde Balloon would fight in Mists of Pandaria. Sadly, it doesn't. I've been looking forward to it ever since we heard about the pet battles. Horny Toad was captured at level 10. Haven't really used him much. Typical aquatic heal abilities. Little Deathwing, can't do anything with him. Not really too sure what's going on with him. As you can see, I can't drag him into a slot, and his icon's gray. Tarkagosa, pretty strong. Definitely a worthwhile pet to have in level. My Moonkin Hatchling is one of my favorite pets overall. This is a really, really strong humanoid pet. What I like to do is I will get a character, probably something like the Nether Fairy Drake, to roll Moonfire. When Moonfire goes out, it puts out Moonlight, which increases the healing and all magic abilities. So, with the fact that the humanoids heal when damage is done, it's a good combination. If you got the Tranquility rolling from the Fawn, and Moonlight is out, and you've got a humanoid character or humanoid pet getting health back from their damage abilities, this is where the Moonkin Hatchling is really, really strong. Because when Cyclone is out, if you're in a multi-pet battle, for every pet Cyclone hits, the Moonkin gets health back. So, on a typical round, if you've got Tranquility rolling, and you've got Cyclone, and it hits 2 or 3 things, and the punch goes out, or the roots proc, you're getting back 95 health at a clip. Up to, 2 or 3 times, maybe even 4. So that's going to keep this humanoid pet healed really well. This mouse is a rare. Pretty solid. Don't use it that much. Here's Mr. Chili. There's a Mercablo. Here is a Nether Fairy Dragon from Feralis. It's an uncommon. Tamed amid a green. Pretty solid. Good setup over here with the Moonkin by doing Moonfire. Obsidian Hatchling. Onyxian Whelping is a really solid pet. Unused Panther Cub. Perky Pug was really good early on because Bite did a lot of damage against critters and it could hide with Burrow. Here is a Parrot from out in Stranglethorn. There's an uncommon rat. Here's a Roach. He also has Apocalypse, so here is the Roach that will survive it. A rare Snail. Haven't used my Squashling. There's a little Skunk. Here's a Frog. My Smolderweb, which I haven't touched. Pretty solid Snake that I tamed just recently. Stone Armadillo from out in Desolus. Thundarian Servant Hatchling. This one has really good synergy with mechanicals due to Call Lightning. There's a Brown Tick Bird. Tiny Harvester from out Westfall. another shale hatchling. This one with leech life in the level 10 slot. Winter Reindeer, Winter's Little Helper that can't use, and of course the Warbot. Now Blizzard has announced that War Fuel, Robot Fuel, will be coming back. If you look here in my inventory on live, I have my fuel down here. Unfortunately, there is no fuel in the beta, but according to a blue post that I noticed, fuel will be coming back. They haven't decided how yet. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. I don't have Batter set up in his number 1 slot here because it was crashing the game a while ago. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be crashing now. It is strong versus beast, but so is the missile. And he doesn't always go first. His speed isn't that high, so I tend to like the missile. Although the batter, if all 3 hit, can do more. I really like the Warbot because of the toxic smoke and the grenade. All of which are mechanical, so he is good to follow behind the serpent hatchling over here. So there's here's a mod or an add-on that I have that allows me to save teams, and I think I'm actually going to go ahead and create a mechanical based team over here. Save him in my number 2 slot. Rearrange those guys. So basically this little add-on saves pet groupings. This would be my Uber mechanical group over here. These are my top 3, and these guys have pretty good synergy. The Gazelle and the Restoration of the Humanoid. Now if I wanted to throw in a really good healing group, what I could do, once I find another Fairy Dragon, set him up over there. Let's see, go back over to the Moonkin and the Fawn. So this would be my Live Through Anything group. Basically the Fawn starts rolling Tranquility. Well, actually could do it this way. Start off with another Fairy Dragon, he rolls the Moonfire, Fawn follows with the Tranquility, and then the Moonkin just lives through everything. Especially if Cyclone is doing a good amount of damage. If there's no Dragonkin out, that Cyclone will be doing a solid amount of damage, plus the damage getting returned from Punch. So the Moonkin can essentially be restoring close to 300 hit points around if everything goes well, especially in a multi-pet battle like against a trainer or PvP. Against wild trainers, though, or against wild pets, it could only be returning 1 hit from the Cyclone, maybe 2. So there you go, there's some stuff on pet battles, and some of the mounts that you've got. Also some enchanting and tailoring. Add-ons are live, as you can tell. I've got Titan Bar, I've got Dominoes down here, I've got Pearl running. I had to stop using Aura, which skinned everything nicely, because Aura was causing this latest patch to crash instantly. Couldn't load the game up with it. And I thought it was one of the other pet ones. I have another nice little add-on that puts colors around pets. So if you're fighting a wild pet, it colors it with the quality of it so you know what you're getting. What I used to have to do was look at the level and look at the health and kind of get an idea from there. Like this forest moth is green. He's uncommon. So his power is up, his speed's up a little bit, and the health. The only way to really tell if you were dealing with a poor or a common or rare was to kind of gauge the health at the level. So if I was fighting a moth that was 700 at level 10, I would know it's not an uncommon, it's a common or a poor. If he had maybe like 780 or 800 and seemed to be faster than this moth at level 10, I was probably dealing with a rare. Haven't seen a purple yet. So it's a nice little add-on that colors this border when you're fighting wild pets. This box over here will be colored based on the rarity of the pet, and it helps you kind of make a good decision on what you want to capture. If you're fighting a 2-pet battle, it'll let you know, since you can only capture one pet per battle, it'll let you know what you can sit there and try to spam your capture crate on, whether or not you want to hold it for the second pet or use it on the first one. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this beta video. Hopefully we'll be getting some heroics in the future and some scenarios that I haven't been in yet, and I really wanted to take you guys tonight back over to the Gate of the Setting Sun, but unfortunately I'm locked. So take care and see everybody in the future.